and welcome to Rise with Crossroads Clubhouse and Monroe Community Mental Health Authority. I'm your host, Desi, and today's guest is Kim Ruiz. And Kim, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have lived in Monroe County my whole life. I am a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 4. I have worked within the community and with community agencies and everything for the past 21 years. Whew, that's a big number. And I just am social. I love to be connected with our community and support what we have going on here. You know, I'm in a new season, but we might be able to get through some of that when you ask me some questions. So just in a little new season of my life.
Okay. So Kim, being on advisory board for Crossroads Clubhouse, what do you do there?
So I am the chair for the advisory board. With that, like I said, I've worked in the community for the past 21. It's just very active. I feel like I am an advocate for individuals. I love to see individuals get to the next level of their, of their life and being able to be connected to the services that are in the community. And I think what the clubhouse offers for the community that they open the door for is important for encouragement. And I also have a son who is mentally, he has to navigate through some mental challenges as well. And so always trying to find resources for him. Now he is 26 years old, so it is a little bit challenging to tell him what to do. So me being connected here allows me to be a part of change within our community for the clubhouse, and also to advocate for other people that may not know what the clubhouse has to offer.
Yeah, not a lot of people know what Crossroads Clubhouse is, and especially when it comes to Monroe Community Mental Health Authority, especially when we have new case managers. Even some of them don't even know we have this program.
Right, and I think for me, being involved in the community, I know that there's a lack of knowledge in a lot of areas, and not to anybody's fault. And sometimes because life gets so busy, people are just going about stuff. So I think it's important to provide information to individuals. And I think with the clubhouse entering into a new season and being able to advertise out there and being in a new location and the doors that are opening for other people to be able to come in, the more that this show and the more that we have community advocates on the advisory board and along with you guys, more people would be able to receive the services that the clubhouse offers and be blessed by it.
Yes. I'm hoping one day the clubhouse will grow more, and hopefully we'll have a lot of stronger members, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, I think it's a safe board for, like a little safe haven.
Yes.
And being able to provide you guys a purpose. That's what, and I think that's what I see when I come in here, when lunch is provided, and being able to see you guys grow in your, in your stuff. So I think that's what, encourages me to be a part of this advisory board.
Yes, I'm happy to be on the advisory board as well, because I want to be an advocate for our clubhouse and try to have the members understand that some of the parts of being on the advisory board is to help them and also trying to help us to get through the hardships, especially with our accreditation that has been kind of a hardship right now.
Right.
So we're hoping we would get through that together.
Well, Desi, I think with the group that we have on the advisory board, being able to get trained and understand more of that, then that's going to come to fruition.
Yes, I'm hoping so.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Kim, how did you join the advisory board for the clubhouse?
Well, it was before COVID, actually, when I first became part of the advisory board. And then, of course, COVID was a little, everything. So just getting back involved, I knew that there was a need. I've worked with Stefan in the community for a little while, and he also is my friend. And he asked me if I was interested, and I feel blessed that he asked me that, because I think there was a lack of knowledge on that. And I like to talk, so I talk to a lot of people. So I'm hoping to be able to get more information out about that, but that's how I got involved.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that I see you as a great asset to our team.
Thank you.
And I'm really hoping that with you, we're able to move forward with getting more help and more community outreach, and hopefully having those with some more information about our program.
Yeah. Yep. And also, I'm excited because in September I'm going to a training for other clubhouses as well, so we can receive more information and we'll be able to bring that back to our community. So I'm excited about that also.
Yes, I'm excited for you, actually.
Good, Desi. I might keep you busy.
Yes. So, Kim, how about what's the biggest challenge you're facing in your role, business, or project right now, and how are you tackling it?
So I recently stepped out in faith and left a position that I have been in for the past 9 years, but also that's the same kind of work that I've been doing for the past 21 years. So I've stepped out in faith and kind of venturing on my own as far as a business owner, and getting it off the ground and going, getting everything together is probably the biggest challenge that I'm facing right now. So I've had a business name since 2012. It's hard to say that, but life happens. So it's called Common Ground Connections, and I just filed my LLC with it so that I can be contracted out to provide life skill classes, encouragement classes, not just for agencies, but even businesses, like a staff, to be able just to take the time for themselves, because life is so busy sometimes, and we don't take that time for ourselves. And I think that it's extremely important. As a single mom that raised 3 kids and just navigating through life and working 2 or 3 jobs, I think sometimes I forgot to stop to breathe, and I think that it's important to share that information with individuals. So the Common Ground, and then I also am involved with Herbalife, and I work at Monroe Nutrition with Jeff Copey, and I'm an independent distributor. So I've recently established a residential club at my house, and it's called Shine Your Light Nutrition. And so getting that up and going also is a little bit, I'm trying to get everything ready for that so I can promote myself with that. So I really am focused on emotional, physical, and spiritual health, and helping individuals understand the maintenance and prevention of things. So
that is really interesting. Can you tell us more about your business?
So I said I'm very spiritual, Desi. So in 2012, I was actually sitting at my counter in my home, and I was doing a devotion and in the Word, and I got the word Common Ground Connection. I'm a connector. The Lord uses me to connect people. I might not have the answer, but I feel like I'm very connected with resources, so I love connecting people. And I believe that in this world, we're on common ground, and so we all have something to add, just like in our community, just like into this. So I believe that the Lord really gave me that name, Common Ground Connections, because that just speaks volumes of who I am, and staying connected with the resources that are needed, because we need each other. And so it was when I received Common Ground Connections for the Word, what I received was talking about not looking back, because sometimes we have to come out of things, but pressing forward, to the higher calling of what we've been called for. So that's how I got the name Common Ground Connections. And so that's just I'm excited because I really have stepped out in faith to move forward with that, so I can share more information with individuals, and that the Lord can use me, for what He's gifted me in. So.
That's really positive, uplifting, that you have a really good story on how your business has come so far. And I actually am happy for you.
Thank you.
I can't think of the right words right now, but there's many of them that I want to say.
Aw, yeah, it's exciting. I love to encourage people, and I just feel like, that's what I'm supposed to do. So.
Yes. So, Kim, what's your biggest challenge you're facing in your, I think I already said that question.
Yep, that's okay.
Let's see, what do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, enjoying my home and my grandbabies. I had mentioned that I have been a single mom. I raised my kids single. They're all in their 20s now, but sometimes I still feel like I'm raising them. And I worked a lot, so it caused me to not be home a whole lot, just so I could provide a home for them. And so I'm trying to get to a spot in my life that my grandchildren do not have to see me operating in survival mode, and working 2 or 3 jobs to get by. So I'm working the next 5 years. I would just like to continue to do what God's called me to do, and operating with my businesses successfully, and enjoying my grandbabies and instilling in them certain things that I've gained in wisdom through the years that I maybe wasn't able to give my children. So.
Okay. So I would say your life is pretty much busy as we see. And so, what is your family life like?
It is busy. I think one of the biggest things right now is I'm trying to get out of the mindset of that survival mode, and I don't know if that that might make sense to a lot of people. It might not make sense, but because I operated in that for so long, even when you don't have to, you still operate in certain ways, because we are creatures of habit. So right now in that transition, I'm just trying to take a step and just be like, okay, I don't have to operate the way that I've always operated. So with my, life, like right now, I'm just trying to enjoy what life has to offer, but making sure that I'm still doing what I have to do as far as work goes. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And what's the most important lesson you've learned over your career?
Not to take things so personal.
I would think that would be a good lesson, actually.
I'm a sensitive person. And so I've learned a lot. I feel like I've learned a lot, and just being where I'm at in my life right now, being able to be real with myself and, analyze and use the wisdom that's provided to me but yeah, not to take things so personal.
And, oh, excuse me. What is your favorite trip you've ever taken?
My mission trip. So in 2018, I traveled to Colombia in June and Guatemala in December. And it was a medical mission trip. And so it was my first time out of the country. And we were providing services in another country that doesn't have the services that we have here in the United States, and also to be able to share the love of Christ with them.
That is really empowering. I guess that might be the right word.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why I say that is because I actually provided the service to do eye exams. We were trained to do eye exams, and there was a young girl that was real shy and timid, and she stood by her mom's side, and she really didn't say much, and her mom received an eye exam, and then we eye examined her, and it was a little difficult to get it, but once we were able to, say that she needed glasses and that we fit her with a pair, her smile gleamed so big. We just take for granted what we have here in the United States, and something so small just made a huge impact on my life.
Yes.
So.
I wish I could go on mission trips, but I understand that we've had, it's just hearing the stories of missionaries and how they impact others, and it's just really awe-inspiring.
And the thing is we do have mission here in the United States, and we can always make a difference in our own community, in our own states as well. So sometimes that's not for everybody to go out of the country, but if ever a time comes that that door opens for you, you never know. But just remember, Desi, you're making a difference here. So you're making a difference with me just sitting here asking me certain questions that, maybe I've not even thought about before. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So, going back to Crossroads Clubhouse, what do you see the clubhouse in 5 years?
Where do I see that? Well, I'm hoping to be able to get a vision when I go to training in September to see more. When we went through our credentials, when they came and did the audit, and that was helpful to kind of see and listen to what they were doing in another area. But I think going to the training is going to allow me to see more of what the clubhouse can offer in 5 years. So I'm excited about that. So when you have me back on the show, I'll be able to answer that question better, I think. Because I think it's the vision, when you receive different knowledge, your lens opens up to different areas. So I'm really excited about that training and, see what I can receive from there.
Yes. I know going through trainings or conferences, like last year I went to Kalamazoo for the Michigan Clubhouse Conference.
Mm-hmm.
I learned some stuff through different side programs, or guess I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but they're different type of lessons that they had, and it was just really interesting to hear those that were running the
Like, are they sessions?
Sessions,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it was really interesting to get that information and bring it back to the clubhouse.
I think, one of the things that I would like to see the clubhouse in the next 5 years is really be active out with some community events. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that Monroe has to offer. And so if we can get you guys out there with what the clubhouse, provides, mm-hmm. And getting you. And maybe one day at one of the events or conferences here locally, we can get you guys to do your own panel session so that, the community has to offer. Maybe in March, there's a Making Connections. It's called Making Connections. And it's where the community comes with resources. And maybe we can get you guys involved with that. Might be something to think about.
That might be something to think about.
That way, the providers know the service is available and they can tell their people they work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a grant that's been passed through the legislation this year, and it's starting in October. We're trying to work things out. The Lansing is that we're going to bring in more people, I think, into the clubhouses.
Yes. We'll be able to offer services to more people
Yes.
than what it is limited to at this time. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exciting.
That is exciting. It's a little scary, I think, for me, but we'll see how it rolls.
But that's why you guys are being equipped right now. So, you guys are leaders and you guys will be able to operate in those roles when more people come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who has been your most important professional mentor?
That would be my friend Marcy Cornell. She hired me at Monroe County Opportunity Program 21 years ago. And I feel like she gave me an opportunity to really walk in my full potential. And she's just been really impactful throughout my life, even to the fact of my home that I have, encouraging me to apply. I have a Habitat house. A lot of people don't know information about Habitat. A lot of people think that's just a free home that's given to individuals. Some people know that people got to work services hours for it, and then that's it, but that's not it, You do still have to have a certain credit score to be able to purchase it. It's just you're either got a 0% interest or a low 1 to 3% interest rate on your home, but it gives individuals an opportunity. And so she encouraged me with that. So she hired me in my career. She was a part of me filling out an application for my Habitat house. I just went on a road trip with her in April, and we went down Route 66. But she's just been huge in my life for me to continue to grow within who I am.
That's it's nice to have someone as a mentor, especially for the younger generations, even those that grow up. Some don't have a mentor.
Right.
Or like a big brother or sister, like some of the known programs out there.
Yeah. I just thought of something, and I know this is, but we can think
Talk
about it
later.
later. Yeah, Kyle Buckley might be someone that you guys might want to interview later on as well. He does a mentoring ship for young boys, and so just talking about that. But you're right, there, a lot of people lack that mentorship, and we
Yes.
all need support systems.
Yes.
And I think that's important, and that's one of the things that I do with the Common Ground, the life skills, is thinking about who is in your circle, and are they positive influence, negative influence? What do you need to do to grow? Because we have to take accountability and responsibility for ourselves, as well. But if we can equip younger generations with having that mentorship and being connected to positive role models, then they won't have to backtrack when they're older.
Yes.
So
I do think the younger generation do need a mentorship, because sometimes you don't know where they're going to where they're going to be at in the future.
right,
Some of them might actually go to jail or do a life of crime. Some people actually grow up and do something wonderful,
right,
but you don't know what the future holds.
right. It's important for services like that for the young kids. I agree with you. I agree.
And I'm hoping that we can have some type of mentorship that is for the those with disabilities, those with the mental illness. Someone that will come in and be positive and hopefully show them a way that they can just grow, flourish,
Right.
come out of their shell.
So Desi, I'm going to speak about that for a second, and it's probably going to, because that just touched my heart. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because my son, who I talked about, is 26, and I think that's extremely important for them to have connections, because sometimes people don't understand how certain social things will isolate. You know, he's not always fit in with everybody. So he's had to find his own way. Now, I'm not taking anything from him because he's very independent. He's always been very independent. He can navigate resources and stuff, but I also know that deep down inside, I can only imagine how he feels about certain things, because he doesn't talk like you and I, so it's hard to understand him, you know, sometimes. And even though he's been very social his whole life, the socialization is what's been hard. So unless someone gets to know him and understand him for him, because he has a little bit of boundary issues and he loves to touch and talk and be in people, you know. So having a group of people that's not your actual parents, because to me, I mean, to him, I'm just a nagging mom. So even though he's 26, his mind operates probably about at 17. So it's a little bit of a struggle, you know, because I try to explain stuff in a motherly but also in another lens, but he doesn't receive that from me. So the importance of having mentorships or people that, you know, are in someone's circle to like, hey, maybe look at it like this, because he gets it, but it is hard for him to navigate certain things, even though he doesn't see that. He just does his own thing. I'm blessed that he does his own thing, because he doesn't really let anything hinder him. But I would just like him to understand a little bit more stuff, and I think mentoring, and he does have some as he gets older. He's got some great people in the community that have really taken a love for him. So, but I get that, and I think that's one of the things that I really want to navigate with the clubhouse is for that, you know, because I think it's important. So many people are, you know, just kind of isolate themselves if you didn't have it, you know. I'm going to bring her name up, but, you know, I think about Kat the last meeting. If it wasn't for here, you know, she'd be sitting at home, and none of us, you know, deserve to be by ourselves, you know what I mean? We all should stay connected with things. So, and if you learn that at a, you know, a young age, you know, and you learn how to equip your circle, it will only grow as you get older.
Yes.
So maybe that's something, you know, that the clubhouse can be for some of the younger kids that go through community mental health. Might be something to think about later for us. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, Kim, I'd like to thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks. Well, our time's up already, huh?
Yes.
That's what I get for being a talker.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I would like to thank Monroe Community Mental Health Authority for supporting us. And I would like to thank the MPAC Studio for providing us this platform. So please be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Hi, Crossroads Clubhouse is doing a bottle and can drive for pop bottle and can drive for the communications program. And we're at the Benish building right next to the Tim Hortons on South Monroe Street. Our address is 428 South Monroe Street, Suite 101. And we are collecting them to hopefully raise for items that we need to edit our videos. And we could collect them any time of the week. And if you can't deliver them, we could pick them up by calling us at 734-243-6401. So we hope to see you soon.